Good morning. There are three groups with an interest in this planning application. Property developers in the oil industry want to make money and maintain power. The public don't want to lose a public good for private profit. Elected representatives should be serving the public interest, but FOIs reveal that many have worked behind closed doors to advance business interests. Planning Advice Note 3/2010 places obligations on local authorities for community engagement. Planning authorities must ensure that the community is given the opportunity at an early stage in the preparation of development plans, and engagement must be meaningful and proportionate. Where the local authority has a land ownership or financial interest, development proposals should be handled with greater transparency and rigour. Despite this, the people of Aberdeen were excluded from the decision to rezone St Fittick's and Doonies. For example, a bid for all the land round the South Harbour was made by Port of Aberdeen at 13:45 on the last day of a 10-week consultation on the main issues report. The public were kept in the dark. 13 days later, a senior officer commissioned a feasibility study for an energy transition zone on the land round the harbour that they had asked for. He did so under delegated powers and without the involvement of councillors. Long-established policies were then altered to allow the rezoning of Greenbelt. In January 2020, Ian Wood, the council's partner in the City Region deal, unveiled his plans for a so-called energy transition zone at South Harbour. The feasibility study commissioned by the council was used to validate the rezoning of St Fittick's in the LDP. The SNP learned of this in late February of 2020 and tried and failed to have St Fittick's and Doonies removed at full council meeting of March 2nd, 2020. This is when the public heard of the plan for the first time. Evidence that plans were already advanced comes to us from the Strategic Infrastructure Report produced by a former Director of Corporate Governance and produced in April of 2020, where reference is made to the rezoning and the siting of a hydrogen storage and distribution centre on the land. In summary, there's been no successful meaningful community engagement, no transparency and no rigour. We have been presented with a fait accompli. Aberdeen City Council, One, Scottish Enterprise and the Port of Aberdeen produced a business plan with the assistance of the Scottish Government. This came out in February 2021. Public access to this was only obtained following the intervention of the Information Commissioner. The plan was used to draw down public funding from Westminster and Holyrood, and this money was used to create ETZ Ltd to carry out the development agenda, to employ consultants to master plan the area and hire politically connected lobbyists to do the PR. The master plan has been adopted as non-statutory planning guidance, and councillors are now being asked to approve planning permission in principle. Step-by-step theft of a public good. The Regional Economic Strategy of February 2024 lists energy transition projects. It includes Dolphin, which is not coming to Doonies Farm, the Vattenfall H21 project, planned to make landfall at Gregness, which has now been scrapped, and the infamous SGN's Aberdeen Vision, which plans to make Aberdeen's gas supply 100% hydrogen, and which is not going to happen. So we have the corporate capture of economic development, manipulation of planning system, and councillors who appear to be subservient to to unelected officers, and a great deal of taxpayers' money being spent on speculative schemes that have come to nothing. Can I respectfully suggest that the elected representatives refuse to grant planning permission for the park, find out where all the money has gone, take advice from the highly educated population in this city as to what a much-needed just transition for Aberdeen would entail, rather than exclusively listening to vested interests? Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? No. Thank you, Ms. Shand.